Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my channel. Today's class will be targeting the pelvis area and hips. So more of those hip openers, flexors, inner hips, outer hips with the abductors, as well as stretching out through the quads, glutes, and engaging and opening more of the chest, but mostly focusing on the hip area to improve the flexibility and the mobility in the hip area. So let's get started in the silk. So we'll stand by the silk, check to make sure that the silk is at hips height, and you're standing underneath the silk in the plumb line. So we lean into the silk and come into a chair pose just to get started. Focus that the silk is underneath the ribs, not under the armpits. Place your forearms on the silk, and I'll turn to the side so you can see more clearly, and then turning back. And then we'll continue with cat and cow. Squeeze into a little ball. Inhale, open. Exhale, and neck curls in. Inhaling, arching back. And then we come back to the neutral chair position. Now let's grab the sides. Now take your legs wide into a goddess pose. What's really important here is to focus that your knee is over top of your ankle so that it's not over top of your foot. So try to keep those in line and together. Opening actively and through, encouraging the work through the inner thighs, the adductors, and hip flexors. So arms against the silk, relax the hips, and start moving from side to side, heel to heel, foot to foot. And when you extend one of the leg, feet flex, and imagine that you're pushing the whole thigh down and you feel the whole stretch. Inhaling, exhaling to the other side. Keep opening your knees, leaning side wide open. Everything a little bit with resistance to the side. So just a little bit more. So you can encourage more motion and mobility. Just feel the openness in the hips. Now let's stay in the middle. Inhale, exhale, jump back to the middle. Adjust to make sure that the silk is underneath your shoulder blades. And now we'll continue to a figure four. Lift the right leg. Exhale, press your leg across in a figure four. Flex the right foot. Ankle and the knee are at a 90-degree angle. But just, again, keep stabilizing your knee. And if you're not feeling anything here, then press the right knee downward. And if you still don't feel anything from here, press your pelvis down and backward. And now we'll add a little bit of swinging motion forward and backward while pressing the right knee down, just awakening the hip joints. Keep breathing deeply. And we'll meet in a neutral position. Now release your right leg down and we'll adjust the silk. So we're entering a high lunge. Inhale, exhale, Come to your tiptoes on your back leg and press forward. While the left hips turn inward, and you still want to draw both of your legs together. Hold your arms around your hands right around shoulder height. Now we'll move through this, make it a little bit more dynamic. Inhale, exhale. Inhale back. A little bit of pressing and stretching through the hip flexors, inner thighs, the hip area. Each time a little deeper and deeper. So a few more. And the last one will hold. Now don't release all the way. Keep some control. Back leg is strong and straight. And we'll add a little bit more of a core workout. Inhale, slide the arms up, reach over the head. Keep breathing, focusing on one point, one spot. Press your right leg down. Extend the back leg strong. Take your silk, bring back your weight to the heel. And then we'll turn to a 45-degree angle as we are entering a warrior two. Inhale and open your shoulders and press away from the bottom leg. Engage your glutes. Tilt your tailbone under, core active. Gaze goes over to the right arm. Feel the space around the neck and the shoulders. Everything is broadening and opening. Maybe you want to press a little bit more forward with your knee going away from the silk with a little bit of resistance into the silk. 2 more breaths here. Last breath in. Breathing out. Let's take the silk, come back, turn your foot forward, and then we'll stretch more through the outer hips. So let's put the foot into the silk, narrow and across. Your knee is at a 90-degree angle. And your foot isn't exactly at the thigh. It's not a half lotus. You want to give a little bit of space between the foot and the body. If you're looking at it, the leg should look like a Z shape if you're looking at it. So let's first move dynamically. Inhale, exhale, move forward. This time the bottom leg is always on the ground. So the movement is not as big. Imagine you're not going as much forward as you are pressing down your pelvis toward the mat. And you should feel that stretch more through the outer right hip, through the glutes, perhaps even the thigh. Of course, each body is a little different and there's different sensations and intensities. And just a few more times, pressing into the silk with the foot. And come back to the neutral position. And we'll begin to hold the position by folding forward. Inhale, and then exhale as the nose comes slowly toward the toe. Hands slide down. Relax your elbows and shoulders. Stay here and just keep breathing. And if you want more of a stretch, take your right knee and press it down. This half butterfly is a great preparation for the full butterfly. Breath in, rising up. Exhale, extend your leg. Now draw a half circle all the way behind you. And the silk will find itself right around your ankle. And we'll come to a low lunge by bringing the hands down. Extend the low leg. Bend the left knee so that it tracks over top of the left ankle. Back leg is pressing through the heel, reaching back. So let's shift forward and backward, opening through the hip flexors. Keep pressing the pelvis down as much as you can by keeping this back leg straight. Pushing the hands into the mat so that you don't collapse the upper body. Now just bend your knee, your left leg, for half pigeon. Release your arms onto the mat any way that it's most comfortable for you for this passive pigeon. Just keep breathing while we stretch out, as we open the knee and hip, while the back leg that's hanging, while we open the front side of the right hip. 2 more breaths here. Last breath in and exhale. And we'll rise up, press away with the hands, and then we'll step up with the left leg, bend the right knee, and rise up, arms up over the head. Exhale, release. Release the back leg. And let's lean back into the chair pose. And we'll move through the other side. So first of all, figure 4. So lift left leg. Cross in a figure 4 so that the left ankle is pressing into the right thigh above the knee. If you want more of a sensation here, press the left knee down or pull the pelvis down, maybe back slightly, and then begin moving forward and back, creating a little bit of dynamic movement in this opening. Just feel the elongation through the spine. Just a few more breaths. Now, settle in the middle, lift the left knee, exhale, set it down. Just make sure that your silk is under your shoulder blade, remaining in the silk. upper foot is either pointed or flexed, whichever you like. So we'll just do some weight shifting from the inner side of the hips. So exhaling on the tiptoes, leg is strong, just pressing forward. Exhaling forward again. Stretch through the inner thigh, the quadriceps, as well as the hip flexors. So breathing out forward and breathing in as you travel back. Exhale and inhale. Keep note of your hip. Your hip is inward, square with the line. So let's hold the pose. Hold that high lunge with the back leg extended and strong. Pressing down through the ball of the foot while pressing forward, but not all the way forward. Don't release into the pose. Thighs are drawing together. Hold your core so the rib cage is inward. Elongate your spine as we are now adding the extra challenge by balancing with the arms along your ears, not holding the silk, focusing on one point, and feel the engagement from the lower body. Breath is slow, long, and deep. Hold your core. Last breath in. And breathing out, take the silk and release. And feel your quads burning. So we'll open the bottom leg, more of a 45 degrees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach out. Engage your core, glutes, stretching through the spine. Gaze comes over the left fingers. Keep breathing here, opening through the hips, through the shoulders. Just a bit more. Last breath in and breathing out and bringing the weight back to the right leg. Now we'll take the right foot and turn it forward. We'll come to a half butterfly by bringing the sole of the foot into the silk and that the knee is bent at 90 degrees. Leave the toes flexed with the toes toward the knees. And we don't want to draw the foot all the way in toward the hip. We want a little bit of space between here to target the hip. And in this case, we're targeting the left side. Inhale, press forward. Exhale, come back. Moving forward. So the upper body is more or less relaxed. A few more. Leave the weight onto the right leg and we'll fold forward. Inhale, exhale, lean forward towards your left foot, toes, relax your shoulders, elbows. If you want more intensity, press your knee toward the ground. Keep breathing. Just a few more breaths. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, extend the leg. Draw the silk behind your back. I will clasp, hold, and come back under the plumb line. And then we'll lower down into a lower lunge. Extend the left leg. Bend the right knee. And see that it's tracking over the right ankle. And then we'll begin shifting backward and forward. Targeting the hip, the hip flexors. Elongate the neck and the back while pressing the pelvis toward the floor. So let's continue with the pigeon. Bend your knee close to your wrist. Bend your back leg. Relax your arms. Relax your head. Lower all the way to the mat and keep breathing. Just a few more breaths. Last breath in, breathing out. Rising up. Press through your hands to step up. Bring your left knee inward. Press into your right leg. Rise all the way up. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. And release the left leg. So now we'll go for the full butterfly. We'll start with putting the right leg into the silk. This time, arms in overhead. We'll lean into the silk and we'll lift the left foot into the silk. Both feet are pressing together. Knees are behind the silk. And then we'll bring the elbows forwards, draw them forward, and then the same with the other arms. So that the silk is behind your deltoids or upper arms. Now let's continue with the flying part of the butterfly. Tailbone leaning back, chest leaning forward. You can stay here, or if you feel comfortable, release both arms. Or you can interlace the fingers behind the back. Whichever you feel is working for you today. A few more breaths while opening through the front and the hips. Let's take the silk just under the armpits. We want to make sure that we're holding above the hips, by the chest, by the rib cage, and then we lean forward. Allow the arms to extend. Relax your head. Relax your arms. Feel the elongation through your spine, lower back, while passively opening the hips. If you'd like, you can bring your hands palm to palm, opening the shoulders. You can bring them to heart center. Now let's come back. And we'll exit the position the same way that we got into the silk. So we reach up, fingers out, elbows outward, look to your belly, round your back, and rise back up. One and the other hand back over your head, lean back, extend your legs, and step down. And the last that we'll do today is with inverted pigeon. So we'll spread out the silk and bring both edges together. So we have half of the silk here. And sit in the silk so that it's just under your buttocks, not your thigh. Bring your hands down, lower your hands, lower yourself back, open the legs wide, and then bend the knees, feet together. Relax your arms. Feel the elongation of the spine and the back. Everything is just loosely hanging. And we'll continue with the pigeon pose. Now wrap around with your feet, but unwrap the right leg and draw a half circle to release your foot backward. You can stay here if you'd like, or if you'd like, you can bring your hands back, right or left or both. Push the right foot away. Engage your glutes and the lower back to keep your back safe and stable since we're arching quite a bit. Keep pressing. The whole lower body is active while the upper body is passive. Just feeling the space. Keep breathing here. A few more breaths. Last breath in. Relax the arms. And then we'll bring the right leg back to the front. And we'll continue with the other leg. Left leg out of the silk. Rotate the leg behind. Either staying here or reaching back with the hands to the back leg with one hand or the other or both. And push away with the left leg and foot so that the whole lower body in the hip and the right hip is opening. So both sides of the hip are stretching here and getting stronger. Keep breathing. A few more breaths. Last breath in. And breathing out, release the arms. Bring the leg back. And we'll round up into a child's pose. Grab the silk between your thighs. Unwrap the legs and slowly coming up. And slowly lowering down to a child's pose on the floor. Balancing the blood pressure. Release your shoulders. Feel the breath. Feel the expansion through the back. Belly pressing into the thighs. A few more breaths here. And with a breath in, rise up. And if you want, you can finish this practice with a shavasana, simply by lying into the silk and laying down. Or you can flip into the silk by bringing the silk up and around the neck, clasping with the hands, pulling the shoulders, clasping with the hands, pulling the shoulders in, bend down into a ball and bend the knees, jump up and over and release into Shavasana. Continue breathing here. Releasing anything that does not serve you. Maybe some thoughts or tension, stress. Just exhale everything. And breathing in new energy. If you want, you can stay here longer. Or if not, reach the arms overhead. Stretch from side to side. Take your legs out. Pull yourself up. This is the end of today's class. To increase flexibility and mobility in the hips. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to share your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. You can follow me at Stacey Lewis Yoga or at AUM Studio on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So other than that, I'll see you in the next class. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Namaste.